first down yardage. Continue that on Menor having to stop the Falcons and do something fast. It's good to mention the conditioning of the Falcons right now because they don't seem to be getting tired, and they have not lost the momentum like they did against Cheney. So the coaches have this week corrected that problem, and you see a Falcon team out there that is ready to sustain the drive and maintain their lead.
That line play by the Falcons is just destroying the defensive line for the Cardinals. The Cardinals are taking a step back instead of trying to gamble and try to close up the run before he gets past the line of scrimmage.
Well, we seem to have a timeout on the field, and it's charged to Menor, and I don't think that's what the coaches of the Menor Cardinals wanted, but now they take their second timeout, and they have one remaining in the ball game.
Give me that message again from the athletic department about the tickets for next week's game against Cardinal Mooney at the Youngstown State University Stadium. Those of you who have season tickets can pick up your tickets from 6 to 7 p.m. on Wednesday. The rest of the general public can pick up tickets 7 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday and 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday at the South Circle. Once again, I remind you that there are going to be spectator buses traveling to the Youngstown State University for the price of $1. You can get on that bus and avoid having to worry about parking at the university. So once again, pick up those tickets. The students can pick up their tickets Thursday during all 3 lunch periods, and they also have spectator buses for the students for $1 each.
So back to action on the field, 5 minutes remaining in this third period. Rob Tofill wide out to the far side of the field. And he comes in and Mahakovic switches sides. Falcons using a lot of formation changes. Handoff is to Wesson. And he'll gain about 3, so it'll bring up second down and 7.
And they've given Menor something else to think about, too, defensively. Now they're flexing to that unbalanced line, Kevin. And now do you slide or do you stay where you're at? And really creating some problems. Just as we pointed out earlier, a very tough offense to defense. And when we get her in gear, there aren't too many teams around that can shut us down.
The execution by the offense has been perfect tonight, or close to it. And it seems to be continuing right now. Handoff to Marakovic, excuse me, and he doesn't get much on the play. It'll bring up a third down and 6.
Then we went to a tight formation there, more or less. Something that we haven't been doing much of, which kind of surprised me a little bit. And of course, Menor had a gang of people in there, and that was the first time in a long time that they've stopped us for practically no gain.
So right now the Falcons are in control. All they have to do is keep this drive going, and it seems like they're heading for another 6 on the boards.
They picked up the ball at 10 minutes and 20 seconds that were left to go in this quarter, and it's now down to 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Fletcher will throw this one, and that's right in the hands of number 35, Jason Kosa, and he gets a reception, but he'll pick up only 3. And so they'll look at a 4th down situation. With such a lead of 21-6, there's no doubt that Coach Hartman will go for it on 4th down. It seems
it's very deceiving the way we're looking at it, but it looks as if the ball is very, very close to a 1st down.
So they will measure it, and it may be a 1st down yardage, but it's a 4th and short, and this is 4 down territory.
It was inside the 19 yard line. Yeah, but that's why we put it in.
And the Falcons are about a ball length short, maybe even less than that, so they'll definitely go for it here, and I see no point in them being actually stopped because the way they've been controlling the line of scrimmage, this half yard will not be very difficult.
Boy, I love your optimism.
Yeah, he's somewhat confident, Ken.
Well, you're right. I don't think the coaches even, for a second, thought that they were going to go for a field goal or something of this sort. Let's see if they stay split and tight. They're getting in real tight.
I think we're going to go back to what you liked there earlier, Ken. We're going to run off our left side here, I think, with Albert Connor.
And we have 2 tight ends in. And right over the side goes Albert Connor. That should be enough, but it surely wasn't as explosive as I had previewed.
You know, Connor is a sneaky runner. I have to use that word sneaky. There are times he takes that first step and immediately can accelerate. Now, he doesn't have the blinding speed once he gets into the secondary, maybe as a breakaway runner, but the fact is he takes that first step and he's already full steam ahead. And at that point, he was tackled really right at the line of scrimmage, and yet he had the power to go another 2 or 3 yards.
And he had the power enough also to get the first down, because the Falcons now have first down, goal to go ball resting on the 7-yard line. Fletcher has a lone back, Marakovich, behind him. Handoff is to Weston, and he sees the end zone, and he has no problem in skating right into it for another score with 2:50 remaining here in the third period. So the Falcons go up by 6 more.
They sealed that way for Chuck Weston all the way down the line. The left side of the offensive line went down to take care of the cornerback, the outside linebackers on that side. The right side took care of the line, and there was just one big aisle way for Chuck Weston to go in with no Cardinals in this win.
So Jeff Wilkins will get to attempt his 4th PAT. He's been successful on 3 so far this evening. It's up, and it's right through. So Wilkins has been perfect tonight, on point after the touchdowns. And that'll bring the score to Austintown Fitch 28. The men are fighting Cardinals 6.
It is a good time to try to put a little word in for the levy again, John. You know, it's really funny talking to the people at Austintown. Obviously, I'm a teacher at Austintown Fitch High School. So is John Rourke. And Kevin graduated with great honors from Austintown Fitch. And the fact of the matter is we're very proud of the school, as all the community should be proud of the school. We have an administrative staff that have done everything possible, physically sound activities to try to guarantee nothing but the finest for our schools. And we hope so very much that the people in Austintown will come out in November and vote for that school levy.
That was number 33 taking it for the Cardinals, Jason Foro, and he had to catch it right on the fly, and the Cardinals will start on their own 25-yard line. It's interesting that we've gone to the squib kick now. I thought we were being effective with Wilkins kicking it off, but I guess the coaches weren't satisfied with the ball getting too close to the 30-yard line.
Was that Wilkins' kick? That's I really couldn't see the numbers. Kevin and Ken, I thought maybe somebody else was in there, and that was the reason why we did that.
His last 4 kicks have been squib kicks, so there's a change there by the coaching staff.
You know, it could really be that once again we're getting ready for the next week. The halfbacks from the Cardinals really don't have that breakaway speed either. But as John pointed out, Cardinal Mooney obviously has a lot of speed, and the rest of our teams in the Still Valley have a lot of speed. Maybe we're just practicing.
And that's what we've been alluding to all night, that other Cardinal team, that we will be traveling to Youngstown State's Stambaugh Stadium, and we will be playing on the turf against the Mooney Cardinals. So,
you want me to tell you how to get there, Kev?
No, John, we got to get there in 15, 20 minutes, not 2 hours.
It'll probably involve the South Avenue Bridge. And, that was a nice play there by number 79, John Polish. That was number 73, Rich the Chalk, rather, and he put Galovic, down to the turf, but he was able to get the reception off for a completion, and it'll bring up 3rd down and short.
You ever been to New Middletown or Petersburg, Kevin?
So that's where the stadium is next week.
Well, that's on the way.
3rd down and short. And
this guy's they're behind by 22 points, and they're running the football. So I don't think they've conceded.
That's interesting that they now have gone to the run, and that'll get them a first down, so they're already out to their own 41-yard line.
There are some substitutions going in now for the Falcons. On that play, unfortunately, there was a little bit too much of the arm tackling, and they weren't making that crisp tackle.
Menor once again is coming to the line of scrimmage very quickly, and the Falcons have not had time to adjust. And so Menor will pick up 5. What happens is the Falcons will set up their defense, and they will also send their strong safety to the strength of the offense, so they may have to make that switch. And then if there's any defensive calls on, then the defense must switch after the offense comes to the line of scrimmage. So they're trying to switch, but the offense is coming out quickly and doing a fast count, so that's starting to disrupt the Falcons' defense. Lone back behind Galovic. He hands off right up the middle, and it's going to pick up 3. This is interesting. They're running the ball.
Kind of a surprise to me, anyway.
I'm sure that their coaches saw that. Apparently, we weren't too concerned with the flanker and the fella in motion, but at that particular moment, there was one defender for the Falcons out there with 2 wide receivers.
Cardinals will try to get a playoff before the end of the quarter, but it won't happen because that will end the third quarter of this ball game with the Austintown Fitch Falcons having 28 points on the board and the Menor Fighting Cardinals having 6.
I thought for a minute too, Kevin, maybe they lost their quarterback, because I noticed that's been a few plays back. He got hit while throwing the football, but I look and see, they're still going with the same quarterback, and I thought maybe that was the reason why they were keeping the ball on the ground, because they maybe lost their first-string quarterback. I see he's still in there.
And so we all have to wonder about Menor's offensive strategy here, because they came out in the third quarter and they just put the ball up in the air, no question about it. And now they'll have to see what they can do, because they only have 12 minutes to work with in order to make up a big deficit here, 22-point deficit. You got to be glad about the Falcons' offense, because they have already, in 2 games, put 28 points on the board in each game. If you score 4 touchdowns a game, there's not many teams that can beat you.
Now, you really would be remiss. I'm going to have to wait for a second, though. They gave up the line of scrimmage really quickly. Back to Kevin.
Galovic facing a 3rd and short. He hands off to number 49, who has first down yardage, and he gets about 5 more. That ball carrier was Greg Huss, the fullback. We haven't heard much from him tonight. So, Ken, you were remiss about something?
Well, at halftime, we found out something. We have some hardy fans out here today. Number 1, they drove all the way up here to root on the Falcons to victory.
Probably taking the better route.
But the problem is, I understand that they're stuck in a place with a million bugs flying around.
I guess they're going buggy, huh, Ken?
Galovic has a receiver open up, but it is almost picked off by Fletcher. Tato Palak stopped Fletcher from getting that interception. Palak probably figured, I have one tonight. I want to be the leader in interceptions. Just a little mild humor here in the 4th period.
Looks like, I'm sure he didn't know who he was defending against, but that was funny because it was 2 Falcons fighting over a ball.
More Kevin Powers' tongue-in-cheek irreverence.
I like that.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Cardinals. They're in Falcon territory, ball resting on the Falcons' 44-yard line. 44, that strikes memories. 2nd down and 10. Galovic on the draw, and they once again are, this time, not as successful. They're only going to pick up 2. So the Falcons have responded to that quickly. On that stop is Campbell, Hauser, and DeChalk.
Those linebackers didn't race out of there that particular time. They were, before retreating, looking for receivers, crossing receivers and what have you, almost neglecting or ignoring that fullback. And that particular time they didn't. And of course, that's the first time all night I think we've actually stopped that for almost no gain.
So 3rd down and long. Galovic drops straight back, quick pop pass, nice reception by number 85, Joe Trax. He has the 1 touchdown reception, and he'll have enough for a first down. That was that pop pass, and that was effective.
I'll tell you what, Galovic's going to have a sore arm. He threw that ball and he released it, but as he released it in his downward motion, he hit one of the Falcons' helmet. His arm just stopped right there. He'll have a little bruise tomorrow.
Some replacements coming in the game. Number 72, Trent Maskell, an offensive tackle, comes in to take his defensive tackle position. Right now, number 73 is down on the field. That is Rich Stachok. Looking forward to next week, Saturday night's game against Cardinal Mooney down at YSU Stadium. The Falcons now are starting to go into SVC play, and it always is intensified one step above some of the other teams the Falcons have played so far this year and will play. So the Falcons have to, one, overcome adjustment to the turf, which is always aids speed, which, as Ken said earlier, the Mooney Cardinals do have a lot of speed. And also the Falcons will have to go against an offense that is power-based. They run that straight eye, the Mooney Cardinals, and they come right at you. So our defense will have to be ready to stop them down at YSU Stambaugh Stadium.
I'll tell you what, Rich Stachok is being well attended to on that field, but it looks like it is something that not overly serious, but serious enough to call attention to it. And we certainly can't lose someone like Rich Stachok for next week against the Cardinals of Cardinal High School.
Next week should be an excellent game, and I hope that as many Falcons supporters can come out and see the Falcons play next week. It should be a nice night for football, as tonight has been, and I'd like to thank once again all the Falcons who did drive up here and see our team play against the Menor Cardinals.
And our offense is going to get a real test next week because Mooney in their opening ball game, they played, I think it was Ashtabula Edgewood, and did not allow them a first down for the entire football game. So they do have, again, one of their typical strong defensive football teams.
Falcons also have pride on the line. Last year they did not win an SVC game. They lost to Mooney 7-3, so they're looking to go into YSU Stambaugh Stadium to avenge that loss.
I'm afraid they're looking at Rich Stachok's right knee, and knee injuries are something that are not easily taken care of. I certainly hope it's nothing serious, but I'm sure they'll get Rich out of the ball game and immediately start rehabilitating that knee.
Rich is a down lineman, and knee injuries are prevalent among down linemen. When you're in the trenches and you have to explode off the line, the possibility of getting your leg caught in on a cross block or something like that is very real. And so hopefully Rich Stachok will not be that seriously injured. Once again, we'd like to thank the two area businesses, Kamara Jewelers and Robertson Studio Photography, underwriting the cost. This is not good news, but it's probably a preventive measure more than anything else. The trainers are bringing the stretcher out onto the field.
The thing, we could point out, too, is the fact that, the kids, Kevin, you're probably more familiar with this than I am, those knee braces that they're required to wear, and still, it's amazing that they can still suffer this type of an injury with that kind of protection.
The knee brace is there to keep that knee from sliding, and it really does prevent the side blow more than anything else. But the initial blow in the front is still possible. You wear knee pads, but knee pads are not that thick. And obviously, these guys play rather rough. Tough players, a guy like Rich Stachok goes 100% all the time. That is not a pretty picture, I think.
No, but hopefully that's more preventive, as I mentioned, instead of very serious, because they do bring them off on the stretcher, and they'll take a look at them over on the sidelines. So play will resume with 10:38 remaining in the ball game. Men are starting out 1st and 10 on the Falcons' 31-yard line. Quickly, the ball carrier stopped by Hauser, number 80. Also in there is number 72, Trent Mascola, and number 79, John Polish.
Jeff Galena was flying in there too with Don Hauser. It looks like that okay, you hurt one of us, now we're going to stop you right now.
So it'll bring up 2nd and long. probably a passing situation for the Cardinals. Looks like that flare pass, and then we do have men out there. They have a receiver open, and he makes the reception, and he's out of bounds. So that will be a big pickup, but now Menner's.
He waved it off. He's out of bounds.
I was looking for a referee to make a signal there, and I didn't see one, and there was a referee. The side judge down here near the third down mark was able to make the call. So that'll be incomplete, third down and long now.
Now that play will be run back about 50 times during practice session so they can figure out just what happened, how he got so all alone when we were covering every one of the receivers.
Well, you know what happened is they've been setting up that flare with number 38 Cost out of the backfield, and our coverage people are trying to cover that. And oh, nice play. Matt Starry comes in and makes his first sack, and so does John Polish. They'll both get a sack on that one, and that'll take Cardinals back a good 7 yards. So now they're fourth and long, and it is a punting situation.
Well, that's something we need a lot of. That wasn't a blitz. It was simply the down lineman who, it looked like a screen trying to be set up, really, and they just got in front of him. There's no way he could do anything except go down.
Fletcher is back deep, and the punt is blocked by number 87, Starry, and it's covered by number 22, Toffel. So after making a sack, Max Starry has a little adrenaline in his system, enough to come up and block the punt. Two big plays for number 87, the outside linebacker.
I'll bet his fingers are going to be soaked because what he did was he just smacked the ball with his left hand.
So nothing but good is happening for the Falcons now. 9-11 remaining in this ballgame. We'll probably start to see a lot of different people in there now because the Falcons do have a comfortable lead.
Don't forget about Tuesday in the Fitch Cafeteria. Come on and watch the films of this Mentor game and listen to Coach Hartman give his explanations, and have some coffee and some donuts at 7:30 every Tuesday in the Fitch Cafeteria.
I want to correct you, that's no longer film anymore. They've stepped up to video technology, and I don't want to insult in any way the film industry in this great country.
And they have quite a system.
Well, Minner gets the fumble there by number 34, Al Connereth, and they get a break, but it comes with 8:30 remaining in the ball game, so now they get the ball back quickly.
Why is the clock still running, John? Does the clock remain running in a changeover?
It should have stopped during the transition. It did for a brief moment, I suppose. We're not arguing, though.
No, I'm not complaining, I assure you.
You know, I never get on officials.
Yeah.
Galovic will roll out, and he has a receiver right across. Don Hauser was all over that, man. He's probably fortunate that he dropped the ball. 8:04 now remaining in the ball game.
And hopefully, as you guys pointed out, you know, everything is all right with Rich Chalk, because next week we're going to need everybody, you know, at 100% and healthy, because, you know, we all know that's a real war with the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals. You know, it's going to be a real physical ball game, and I say we hope that we come out of this ball game without too many bumps and bruises.
It's good to see the Falcons really energetic here late in the fourth quarter, because that is what the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals really wear you down to that fourth quarter.
You know, Menner must have just decided to open up their playbook, because now they just ran the option. I think they've really conceded this ball game, and they're just going to experiment. And speaking of injuries, and it doesn't look good, because I think that's number 9, Derek Fletcher, down, and he is a pivotal part of both offense and defense. And it looks like another leg injury.
It looks like a cramp. Here we go with the cramp.
I was, you know, not joking in any way, Kenny. I was hoping that's what it was with Risty Chalk, but then I was afraid when I put the binoculars on to kid or joke or say anything in jest.
They're
because
betting that is the cramp.
But this one I think is a cramp.
Well, we know about those cramps. We muscular people.
Trey, cramps are always prevalent on evenings like this.
Which kind of evenings, Kev?
We don't know. We have never ever had a decision on whether it was hot, humid evenings or whether it was cool or colder evenings. So we'll just keep it as it's an evening for cramps. We'll leave it up to you, the viewing audience, to decide. Yes, you can call a 900 number to decide. It only costs you 50 cents. We're going to invest in that, a 900 number. Oh, yes, are we being frivolous here tonight? So that was number 29, Chuck Campbell, who was injured, not Derek Fletcher, and he comes off the field, so it must have been a cramp, and he will be back soon enough. Number 37 comes in to replace him. That's Jeff Kokoski. He'll take over the strong safety position. So 3rd down and 9. Suddenly it's 3rd down and 9. 7:46 remaining in this ball game. They're setting up the pass, and he has a receiver again. This time it is a good reception. He's down the 20-yard line. Reception was made by number 26, Brian Berry, the wingback.
John, what's happening? How can that man get open that way? That's the 3rd time.
Yeah, and really there, that it's kind of hard to figure out, Kenny, because there wasn't anything real fancy about that pass, right? He just ran, kind of a simple down and out, and really was wide open.
Well, I think what's happening is that they're flooding the one side of the field with receivers, and they have that flare man out of the backfield, so the corner or strong safety has to come up and cover him. The half will take another receiver, probably a split end, and the linebacker has to come across and pick up that receiver who's getting the receptions. So the problem is the linebackers are not having a good read, and they're not getting there fast enough. Galovic throws, and he has the same man again, number 26. That's Brian Berry, and he's inside the 5-yard line, down to the 3. So the Cardinals are quickly back in scoring position.
Now that time, John, he simply had all kind of time to pass. And I don't know how long the defensive man can contain all those receivers out there.
And the only thing that I'm thinking is, right now, Kenny, the thoughts going through my mind is Mooney doesn't throw the ball that much. And hopefully, we can do the type of job that we normally do against the run. Obviously right now we're having problems in our secondary.
Handoff is right up the middle. It's going to be close, but not enough. They'll unpile it, and a knee pad's loose on the field, so there'll be a timeout for someone to regain that. They'll gain just about 1 on the play, so it'll bring up 2nd down, goal to go, ball resting on about the 2-yard line.
And we're now into the 6 minutes and 44 seconds to go. The clock is really running down on the Menor Cardinals.
Goal line defense is in, and it seems to pile up the ball carrier. They're not going to mark it into the end zone. It's going to be shy about just the nose of the ball.
The runner tried to leap over the pile. He didn't get much of a leap,
but it was a try, and it was effort.
That's probably just a sign, of the fatigue. Kevin's pointed that out several times. It looks like we're in a little bit better shape than they are physically here, and I think probably Menor is kind of obviously tired right now.
And that will be a touchdown. And Menor, with 5:59 remaining in the ball game, is able to put 6 more onto the boards. So that'll bring them up to 12 points, 13, no, 12.
And then try another onside kick. Let's see, last week we had 2 of them tried on us.
Well, this even makes their play calling even more mysterious. Guys back there at the end of, the 3rd quarter. Why, they all of a sudden decided not to throw the ball, and they, ran the ball about 6 or 8 times in a row. And here, again, are quite successful throwing the football, but you look up at the clock, there's only 6 minutes left.
So they will now try for the 2 points. Obviously, they have no choice, being down this much. Galvic will roll out. This time he's going to go for it himself. The first, and he is stuffed. Nice play there by number 9, Derek Fletcher, number 79, John Polish, and number 1, Toto Palick. They all stopped just shy of the goal line, and that's where Menor will end its drive, gaining 6 points. Score now, Austintown Fitch 28, Menor Fighting Cardinals 12.
Of course, now we, what'd you call that? kick receiving team, the onside kick?
Hands team.
The hands team.
Hands team, those people out there who have the best receiving abilities, the quickness. Of course, I was never on the hands team. I want you to know that. I know Ken was ready. I was on the
feet team.
Yeah. Ken was ready to jump on that. I just saw it. I just wanted to steal his thunder. Receiving was not my forte.
It is strange when you know that they have an onside kick to see the people up front, the smaller guys up front, as opposed to the bigger, stronger guys up front. Now he'll fake everybody out and kick it into the end zone.
And this will be an onside kick. And number 1, Opalk will cover it. This is always exciting because on the onside kick, the purpose of the men in the second row is to come up and hit as many of the men or people as possible and knock them away from the receiver.
We used to call them head knockers.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Mentor, they did do just that.
It was amazing. We used to have more volunteers for those particular guys. Because some guys just like to do that because, as Kevin pointed out, he used to went down and knock down some of the opposition, and there were other designated people more or less to try and recover the kick. But you always had people that just went down and tried to get or knock people away from the football.
I guess we can say we have to give a hand to the hands team. Oh yes, it's getting late.
Good tonight.
And there's a penalty flag after Connorth plunges forward for 4. That was number 31 carrying. That was his first carry. That was not Al Connorth. That was Mike Zockel. He's a junior. And that will be procedure against the Falcons. That will take him back 5. First down, 4:15 now.
And really, you look at the scoreboard, and this is kind of similar to last week. It just seemed like we totally dominated, especially this football game, dominated the game, but yet we're only up by 16 points. And there's still 5:28 to go in the fourth quarter.
Now, this game is not flying by, although we have to keep in mind it started at 8 o'clock and not our usual 7:45, but it's now 5 minutes after 10, and we still have 5.5 minutes left to go in the game, and that's obviously 5.5 minutes is going to be a long time.
And many, many, many miles of road ahead of us. First down, 15. Handoff to Wesson. He has an opening. He'll be back to the original line of scrimmage on the 48-yard line. We are now right under 5 minutes.
And probably about, what, maybe 2-3 first downs will eat up that clock if we can get some kind of a sustained drive going. But right now we got, what, 2nd and 10, so.
Chuck Wesson at 16 carries is up to 121 yards.
So that's our first 100-yard ball carry of the season. He also has 2 touchdowns to add to that, a 24-yard one and a 7-yard one, both one in the second and one in the third period. Fletcher at the helm with a 2nd and 10. Handoff is to number 31 Zocco, and he has to climb over the line of scrimmage to get a few yards. He'll be close to midfield.
Surprised to see, I guess Zocco's coming out of the fullback slot.
So now just 4 minutes remaining, and like John said, 1 or 2 first downs, and we can take this one home.
Well, we got 3rd and 8. I doubt whether we're going to put the ball up in the air, so my favorite play again is probably that little inside counter, guys. Just see what happens.
So 3rd down and long, handoff to Wesson, and he'll get 3 more to add to his 121 that he's had so far.
If Chuck would have stayed to the outside, I think he'd have had another touchdown.
In come the punting team, I think only for the 2nd time this evening, if I am correct. And they will put one up.
Yeah, I think the opening drive, they forced us to punt, I believe.
And possibly this is the 3rd time, now that I think back. I think we punted one other time. Like I said, and I know these guys would challenge me, like I said, it was only one time. This will be our second punt.
Now, if Toto Pellick does his normal job, he'll have a high kick. He was pressured that time.
The Menor receiver will get it on the 12, but he'll be swarmed down there quickly by number 42. That's John Mahakovich. Also in there is number 35, Jason.